This is Man in the Black, here to introduce Colombia's program Suspense. Tonight, as we premiere our new Saturday evening series on the air, Miss Agnes Moret returns to our stage to appear in the Study in Terror by Lucille Fletcher called Sorry Wrong Number. The story of a woman who accidentally overheard a conversation with death and who strove frantically to prevent murder from claiming an innocent victim is being repeated by popular request as tonight's tale of suspense. If you've been with us before, you know the suspense is compounded of mystery and suspicion and dangerous adventure. In this series are tales calculated to intrigue you, to stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution until the last possible moment. So it is with the story Sorry Wrong Number and the performance of Miss Agnes Mored, we again hope to keep you in suspense.
Oh dear!
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Moray Hill 7093 for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I will be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Moray Hill 7093.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello?
Hello, George.
Yes, sir. This is George speaking.
Hello, who's this? What number am I calling, please?
I'm here with our client.
Oh, good. Is everything okay? Is the coast clear for tonight?
Yeah, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Okay.
Where are you now?
In a pond both. Don't worry. Everything's okay.
Very well. You know the address?
Yeah. I know. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right. At 11 o'clock.
I will make sure that all the lights downstairs are out.
There should be only one light visible from the street.
Yeah. I know. At 11:15, a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case her windows open and she should scream.
Oh, hello? What number is this, please?
Yeah. I make it quick. As little blood as possible. Because our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
That's right. You'll use a knife.
Yes, a knife will be okay. And afterwards, I remove the rings and the bracelet and the jewelry in the burial drawer. Because our client wishes it to look like simple robbery. Don't worry, everything's okay. I never...
Oh, how awful. How unspeakably awful.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why, it was supposed to be Moray Hill 7093, but it wasn't. Some Warsas must cause. I was cut into a wrong number, and I've just heard the most dreadful thing. Something about a murder. And operator, you simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon. May I help you?
Oh, I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded friends, and they were going to murder somebody. Some poor innocent woman was all alone in the house near the bridge. We've got to stop them. We've got to.
Oh, what number were you calling, please?
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed for me. And we got to find out what is it immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? What time is it? Do you mean to tell me you can find out what the number was just now?
I connect you with the chief operator.
Oh, I think it's perfectly shameful. Now, look, it was obviously a case of some slip of the finger. I told you to try more Hill 7093 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped and I was connected with some other number. And I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. No, I simply failed to see why couldn't you make that same mistake again on purpose? Why couldn't you try to dial more Hill 7093 in the same sort of careless way?
Moray Hill 7093.
Yes!
I tried to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry, Moray Hill 7093 is busy. I call you in 20 minutes.
Operator!
Your call, please.
You didn't try to get the wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly and all you did was dial it correctly.
I'm sorry. What number are you calling?
Well, can't you just for once forget what number I'm calling and do something for me? Now, I want you to trace that call. It's my civic duty and it's your civic duty. To trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers, and if you won't,
I will connect you with the chief operator.
please.
This is the chief operator.
Oh, chief operator. I want you to trace a call, a telephone call, immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but that someone is planning a terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor, innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Well, can't you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I am not certain. It depends.
Depends on what?
Depends on whether the call is still going on. If it is a live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other.
Oh, but of course they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Albert Stevenson, but listen.
And your telephone number, please.
Plaza 4 2295. But if you go on wasting all this
Why
time,
do you want to call trade, please?
no reason. I merely felt strongly that something ought to be done about it. This man sounded like killers. They're dangerous killers. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight. And I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile,
I'm sorry, Mr. Stevenson, but I am afraid we could not make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so. As a private individual, we have to have something more official.
oh, for heaven's sake, you mean to tell me I can't report that there's gonna be a murder without getting tied up on this red tape? Why? It's perfectly idiotic. Well, alright, I will call the police.
Thank you. I'm sure that you will be the best way to...
Ridiculous. Perfectly ridiculous. The thought of it. I can't see why I have to go all this trouble. Oh.
Your call, please.
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Thank you.
Oh dear, do you have to dial it? Can't you ring them direct?
Ringing the police department.
Police Station, Precinct 43. Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? This is Mrs. Stevenson, Miss Albert Smith Stevenson of 53 Norton Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder. I mean, the murder hasn't been committed yet, but I just overheard the plans over it. The telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call of myself, but everybody is just so stupid. I guess in the end of you're the only people who can do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was perfectly definite murder. I heard the plans distinctly. Two men were talking and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in the house near the bridge. Are you listening to me?
Yes, oh yes, ma'am.
and there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a beer on 2nd Avenue, and there was some third man, a client, who was paying them to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelet and use a knife. Well, it is unnerved me dreadfully, and I'm not well, and I feel so nervous.
I see. When was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Then you can do something. You do understand.
What is your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place, 53 North Sutton Place. That's near our bridge, the Quincelboro Bridge. And and we have a private patrolman on our street and 2nd Avenue.
And what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 7093. But that wasn't the number I ever heard. I mean, Murray Hill 7093 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm invalid, and it's the maid night off. I hate to be alone, even though he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mrs. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't take the call if the parties have stopped talking. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call if they stop talking? By the time you check it down, they already have committed the murder.
Well, take care of it. Don't you worry.
Well, I'd say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete and true search of the whole city. No, I'm very near the bridge, and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue. And I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around radio cars to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I don't know. Only the coincidence is horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
2nd Avenue is a very long street, ma'am. And you know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone?
Yes, I know.
Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx.
I know that.
How do you know there isn't some little house on Staten Island on some little 2nd Avenue? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
Maybe it was a long distance call you overheard.
Oh, don't.
Telephones are funny things. Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken on that telephone call, supposing you got your husband the way you always do, you wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, no, I suppose not. Only it sounded so inhuman, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are plotted in this city every day, ma'am. We managed to prevent almost of them. But a clue of this kind is so vague. It is much more use to us than no clue at all.
But surely you...
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was funny and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh, no, no. I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm all alone day and night. I see nobody except my maid Eloise, and she's a big girl. She weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray. And the only person is my husband, Albert. He's crazy about me. He just adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. He scarcely left my side since I took sick. Well, 12 years ago.
Then there's nothing for you to worry about now. If you just leave the rest of this to us, we'll take care of it.
But what will you do? It's so late. It's nearly 11 now.
Well, take care of it, lady.
Well, you broadcast it all over the city and sent out the squads and warned your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhood like mine.
Lady, I said we take care of it. Just now I got a couple of other matters have on my desk that require immediate attention. Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot. Oh, now, why did I hang up the phone like that? He'll think I'm a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he come home?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Marie Hill 7093 number again? I can't think of what's keeping him so long.
I will. Try if for you.
We'll try. Try. I don't see why he doesn't answer it.
I'm sorry. Murray Hill 70093 is busy. I will
I
busy.
can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air. Just lean out the window and see the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? 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 Oh, for heaven's sake, who's this? Hello? 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 Oh, who's trying to call me? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Hello, operator. I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's possibly driving me crazy. I've never seen such efficient, miserable service. Now, look, I'm invalid and I'm very nervous. And I'm not supposed to be annoyed, but if this keeps so much on longer.
What seems to be the trouble? Please.
Well, everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit of satisfaction out of one call I made this evening. The whole world could be murder. For all you people care. Now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds. And when I pick it up, there's no one there.
I'm sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through, whatever it is, at once.
I'm afraid. I cannot do that.
You can? And why? Why, may I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check it if the call is coming through the system or not, unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to their particular operator.
Well, of all the stupid. And meanwhile, I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time that phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble for you.
Check it. Check it. That's all anybody can do. Oh, what's the use of talking to you? You're so stupid. Oh, I'll fix her. Of all the impudence, how dare she speak to me like that? How dare she? Oh, why does it take so long?
Your call, please.
Young woman, I don't know what your name is, but there are ways finding you out. And I'm going to report you to your superiors for the most unpardonable rudeness and insolence. It's very been my privilege. Give me the business office at once.
You may dial that number direct.
Dial it direct. I do no such thing. I don't even know the number.
The number is in the directory, or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen, here. What's the use? Oh, dear. Oh, for heaven's sake. I'm going out of my mind. Out of my... Hello? Hello? Stop ringing me. Do you hear me? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Hello? Hello? If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. Do you hear me? The police. Oh, if Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Let it go on ringing. It's a trick of some kind. I won't answer it. I won't. I won't. I won't. Even it goes on ringing all night. Ring. Go ahead and ring. Stop. Now, what's the matter? Why did it stop ringing all of a sudden? What time is it? Where did I put that clock? Oh, here it is. 5 to 11. Oh, they decided something. They're sure I'm home. They heard my voice. Answered them just now. That's why they've been ringing me. Oh, no one has answered me. I'll call the operator again. Oh, where is she? Why doesn't she answer? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Where were you just now? Why didn't you just answer at once? Give me the police department.
I'm sorry. The line is busy. I will call you.
Busy? But that's impossible. The police department can't be busy. There must be the other lines available.
The line is busy. I will try to get them for you later.
No, I've got to speak to them now, or it may be too late. I've got to talk to someone.
What number do you wish to speak to?
I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people beside the police department. The detective agency.
You will find agency. Listen, in the classified directory.
But I don't have classified. I'm too nervous to look it up. And I don't know how to use the...
I connect you with information. Perhaps she will be able to help you.
No! You're being spiteful, aren't you? You don't care, do you? What happens to me? I could die and you wouldn't care. Oh, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I can't stand it anymore. Hello? What do you want? Stop ringing, will you? Stop it!
Hello? Is this Plaza for 2295?
Yes. I'm sorry. This is Plaza 42295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Elbert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I'm Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Elbert Stevenson, 53 North Sutton Place, New York, darling. Terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed Elbert.
Oh, no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Madam. Good night.
Oh, no. I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some trick. Some Freddy's trick. Some trick. Why doesn't she?
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 70093 number for me. Just once more, please.
You may dial that number direct.
Oh. Oh. Oh, he's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? I can't be alone tonight. I can't. If I'm all alone one more second, I'll go mad.
I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I'm sick, woman. I'm entitled. I'm entitled.
Information, may I help you?
I want the telephone number of Hensley Hospital.
Hensley Hospital? Do you have the street address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Hensley, Henc.
One moment, please.
Please hurry. And please, what is the time?
You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I have no time to be dialing.
The number of Hensley Hospital is Butterfield 70105.
Hensley Hospital, good evening. Nurses Registry. Who was it you wish to speak to, please? I want the nurse registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nurse, I'm very nervous. I need soothing companionship. You see, my husband is away and I'm...
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
No, but I really don't see why all this catechizing is necessary. I just want a trained nurse. I want a patient in your hospital 2 years ago. And after all, I don't expect to pay this person for attending me.
We quite understand that, madam. But these are war times, you know.
Well,
Registered nurses are very scarce just now, and our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feels that it is absolutely necessary.
well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. I'm alone in this house. I'm invalid. And tonight I overheard a telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind.
I see. Well, I will speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips? And when do you expect her in?
Well, I really couldn't say. She went out to super at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it?
Just 15 minutes past 11.
What? What was that?
What was what, madam?
That click just now in my own telephone, as though someone has lifted the receiver off the hook of the extension telephone downstairs.
Well, I didn't hear it, madam. Now about this.
But I did. There's someone's in the house. Someone downstairs in the kitchen. And they're listening to me now.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry. I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. Hey, there's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in the house. Someone's going to murder me, and you've got to get it in touch with. Oh, there it is. There it is. Did you hear it? He put it down. He's put down the extension phone. He's coming up. He's coming up the stairs. Give me the police department. The police department. Police department. Give it to me.
One moment,
Please, I will connect you.
I can hear him. He's near. I hear him. I hear him. Hurry. Hurry.
Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? Oh, I'm sorry. Must have I got the wrong number. Don't worry. Everything's okay.
And so closes. Sorry, wrong number. Starring Miss Agnes Moorhead, Tonight's Tale of Suspense. This is your narrator, the man in the black, who conveys to you Colombia's invitation to spend this half hour in suspense. With us again next Saturday, when we'll have another starring Hollywood cast headed by Miss Dolores Castillo with Martin Koslick, Ian Wolf, and George Zocco. The producer of this broadcast is William Spear, who with Ted Bliss, the director Lord Gloskin, the musical director, and Lucille Fletcher, the author, collaborated on tonight's Suspense. This is CBS, the Colombians Broadcasting System.